Hello viewers and welcome back to our pre-release series for Dominions for Thrones of Ascension. Last time we covered basic spell usage with the Tower of Avalon faction, focusing on mostly buffing up our own troops and debuffing the enemy, doing a little bit of unit combinations. And before that we learned about the general mechanics of the game. This time we will be creating yet another game, and we will be taking a look at item forging as well as some other stuff part of item forging and magic. So let's set up a new game. We're going to be playing a four player game, and we will be playing as the Forges of which is a human kingdom once again that's famous for their heavy infantry, heavy knights, and generally heavy armor, and their smiths, which are capable of forging various different magic items at a reduced cost. One of the unique things about them is that they have an access to an absolutely huge number of heavy infantry. Everybody's clad inside armors on this faction, and one of the rather nice things is that your troops just smash through things. They are able of fielding larger number than the Abyssian people, and they have specialty good things set up for like things such as sieges and castle defense and whatnot. But the most notable thing is that they aren't necessarily affected by the drain scale, and they aren't uh, that dependent on their dominions' influence. So let's begin customizing our faction. So once again, we have a nice little cast of different people to select and play as. One choice that is very notable to me is the Forge Lord, which is you would think as a faction that's dependent on forging items, you'd usually go with the Forge Lord inside this, which is a demigod who is capable of forging items at a greatly reduced cost. Well, instead of doing that, we are actually going to go with a little bit of a cheaper one called the Great Enchantress, and I'll show you guys the reason behind this in a little bit. Another good thing that you could go through with this faction with is maybe one of these combat leaders, such as, oh, I don't know, this guy right here, the Keeper of the Bridge, somebody who might be able to do a little bit more damage on the field, simply because later on you should be able to equip them with some fairly powerful items. But I'm gonna go with the Enchantress, and I'll show you guys the reason for that. The Enchantress starts off with one Astral skill. It's not very much, but we can get this up to 5 fairly easily. What we're going to do here is that we're going to set up our Enchantress so she has a nice amount of stats in a large amount of areas, and the reason because of, we want that is to just kind of build upon the magical side of things. We don't necessarily need that much dominions. I'll keep that at 4. What I'm going to do here is that I'm actually going to lower Drain to the maximum of 3, which will affect our research because it'll lower our research by a little bit. I'm also going to drop the Luck to 3 so that we get quite a more design points to build our faction with. And I'm going to put those design points into productivity because, like the Abyssians, these guys are really resource dependent, so we'll do that. Put a few points into, let's see, put 1 point into growth and 2 into our order and turmoil to just kind of balance out the misfortune thing. So that's kind of what we're going to be starting the faction with, so let's begin. So, as soon as we enter the game here, I'll show you guys. Oh crap, I forgot to do the thing with the Ascension Thrones, but it should be fine. Probably not going to finish this round. We're just going to take a look at the forging mechanics inside the game. So yeah, as the map generates here, what should we talk about first? There is like that little bit of an RPG aspect to this game in which you can customize your commanders with various different things. And the reason that we've assembled our troops like this is that, first and foremost, our Great Enchantress, she automatically generates 1 Astral Gem per turn. As you may know, that gems are used to either forge magical items or cast spells. It's rather helpful to have a nice little steady stream of them. We start off inside our little castle here, so we're just going to go through the little recruitment tab once again. The unique thing, yeah, there's a lot of different units for this faction. I'm just going to talk about the few important ones for now. The main thing that we need for this faction are Master Smiths. They come at 155 gold, at 7 resources, and we just plan on shelling out these guys for pretty much the entirety of the game. The reason because of that is that, ignore their stats for now, let's just take a look at their traits. They will automatically become some sort of Earth Mage slash Fire Mage automatically. They're not necessarily that great for magic. They're more or less useful for resources, for their research ability, for crafting goods, and the thing that they get is this mundane researcher boost. So they're actually not affected by their drain skill, which is, if you recall, one of the things that we put on our Dominion, which would actually lower our research. But for these guys, it doesn't affect them, so it's essentially free points for us. The second thing that they give us is a raw resource bonus, which will actually be able to give us more resources per turn. And how that works is that, as you may recall, heavy infantry typically takes not very much money, but it takes a lot of resources, and you only get some resources per turn, and you essentially want to use all of that up, right? So with that said, if we keep on building Master Smiths, it should automatically, like, gradually increase our resources per turn by quite a little bit. The infantry of Ullum are essentially separated into just heavy infantry and heavy infantry with shields is pretty much how I'd say it's set up. They have a few other things like people with really long spears, war dogs, crossbowmen, and sappers. And the commander variant of them, siege engineers, are really good for taking out fortresses. But for now, there aren't any fortresses that need sieging, so we won't really do anything about them just yet. Instead, we will be building some of these infantry of Ullum. They come in two different variants, essentially. You have the standard one, which costs a little bit less on the resource side, and they usually have like a battle axe or something. They're fairly strong, this entire little section is. And then they have the upgraded version, which is the black plate infantry, and I believe they get quite a nice little bonus. So these guys have a protection value of 18. The upgraded one has a value of 21, and do they do any more damage? I think they have a little more. No, they just have better armor, which is good. So we're just going to be essentially stacking up a production queue filled with these guys, and over the course of the game, as we get more Master Smiths, we will essentially double the amount of resources that we gain. Talked a little bit about research. We looked at alteration, the school of magic focusing on debuffing and buffing things, evocation, essentially offensive spells. This time we are going to invest our points in construction, which will allow us to build mechanical units as well as build magical items. So let us go and essentially start researching in that. We want to get construction to level 6 right away. With a level 6 we can build very powerful magical items, which then we can equip onto our commanders to really give them an edge in battle. So we're going to end the first turn here, see what is around here. There's a few good provinces to attack on the side there. So what we'll do is that we'll get Ernest, the Master Smith, to start doing his own thing, and we're just going to reinforce our guys into one big line pretty much, and these guys will essentially just smash their way into these neutral camps, and then we'll grab these neutral provinces for ourselves. Once a place is like secured by our faction, what I'm essentially going to do is with our Master Enchantress here is that she can use a little spell to essentially detect whether or not there are any special goodies inside a province. Let's see our army here, about 20 soldiers fighting against about 30 Jaguar tribe people. I think we can win that. Let's just take a look at our commander here. He has a heroic ability. He has improved physical strength, which is good, I suppose, and we'll get him to just kind of smash the flank over there. Now, as we do that, as you can see, we are slowly getting more and more resources to essentially spend on building troops, which is really, really nice. We're gonna win another battle, so then we can recruit a few more troops, and essentially that is pretty much the early game of it's just building a lot of heavy infantry. You men are pretty solid in the fight, so yeah. Now that we've essentially come over here with our Enchantress, we can actually start trying to find magical sites. Like I said, Magical gems are essentially the currency in magical things such as building items and casting spells. Well, if we find certain goods such as these things like steel ovens right here, which is a magical site that produces resources and from the looks of it a construction bonus, then we can essentially put more value into these provinces, right? With a high level magical person with a lot of different spell types, such as the Great Enchantress here, I've set it up here so that she can essentially find every single type of site inside the game, or almost all of them. So I'm going to actually get her to start searching for sites, and she will hopefully be able to find some good places that'll provide us with a lot more gems, thus bringing us more and more craftability for our items later on. Did she find anything? It doesn't look like she found anything, so we're going to move her somewhere else. Get all of these master smiths researching, get our spy to move forward, and I'll get our commander over here to double up on his units, and he'll go back out into the fight. As we should have like a large number of excess money, and we'll be spending those things on fortresses, where then we can build even more items, or more things. And you guys essentially will just smash through the lines here, as in the back of our columns we will be building more troops, more researchers too, and as you can see here, we already are setting up pretty well. So, and then we get our enchantress to do the little magic site thing again, and it looks like she found one this time. She found a mineral cave which is capable of producing 1 earth gem per turn. Generally speaking, we gain a lot of earth gems, so I mean that one is kind of meh, but later on we should be able to get some really good ones. So likewise, I'm just going to get her to walk around, try to find those things. In the meantime, we can get our researchers here to essentially do the works. Our smiths and magical units, like the priests and whatnot, so long as they have magical mage skills, they should be able to find sites. And the reason we're using the Great Enchantress is that the higher your level inside one particular magic, increases the amount of chances that you are able to find something in that site. For example, I mean, if you only have a level 1 person scouting a site, well, it's not going to do very much. You can get a level 2 person to come in and rescan the site, and then it might find something. But if you're just going to like scan one place with a level 1 person, then chances are is that I don't believe you can reroll provinces like that. Looks like we already found a site here, Horse's Vale. So this is a place that allows us to recruit horse brothers, which is a special type of troop that we don't necessarily need right now, so I'm just going to kind of ignore that. I'll just get all of our smiths here, just continue researching, continue giving us that construction bonus, which we really need. And we'll just enter turn there. And continue searching for sites is essentially what we're going to be doing here, while Trustmond over here just essentially continues charging forward and smashing through everything. Okay, there we go. So, there's 40 barbarians here, and we only have like a few troops, so I don't think it'd be worth it smashing through there. Well, we're actually going to stop building those smiths for a little bit, and we're going to get a secondary commander up, and maybe a few more, just simply for the sake of having multiple armies patrol our regions here. Actually, instead of doing that, let's get the spy to come over here. Spies, yeah, they have two movement on the campaign map, so we're able to get them to move 2 spaces over here to the Throne of Ascension, and what we want to do there is we want them to build a fortress, because it's between 2 mountains, and thus it makes a really good defensive point. Problem with it is that there seems to be quite a lot of troops. There's an enemy faction over here, and we need to just kind of protect against them, so I'm just going to buy a lot of provincial defense, which should be able to ward them off. Damn, no more magic sites over here. That is rather unfortunate. Let's see, so we have a new commander, we can start building those smiths again, and then we'll get this guy to grab as many of these troopers that we have here as possible, get him to move over there, and get Desmond's little group of troops to kill off these slingers. This guy is going to build ourselves a fortress or a castle, which will protect that tile. And that should be all for this turn, so we're just going to end just like that. And another battle, conquer that place, good. Get them back, and it looks like we got Bear Mountain, which produces some more Earth Gems. Well, that's good. It's a shame that we're not finding any other sites except for ones that produce Earth Gems, because fire is actually, well, fairly useful for building things. Another one that's pretty useful is Earth Gems, and, well, generally all of them are pretty useful, actually. Ooh, we found a farm of Planty Dam. I thought that one was going to produce some sort of Earth Gem, but unfortunately it didn't. Found some place that produces water gems, though, apparently. Oh, we are producing Earth Gems now, somehow. Oh, I see, we found a frozen lands here. That's what's producing those as well. We're gonna search for magic sites again, get these guys to move forward, and I believe we should be able to get our original commander here some more troops to lead. Yeah. So there we go. We are really advancing forward now. As only, I find that you really have a lot of cash to spend, but apart from fortresses, there's nothing really you need to build with them, so we're just going to buy a lot of provincial defense simply for the sake of managing our territory easily. I think what I'll do is that, oh, we have quite a lot of these guys. My apologies, folks, I forgot to get these smiths on research, but I guess I'll get one of them to come out here and build another fortress. You know, might as well, right? With the fortresses, I mean, we can build so many of them. So that's gonna smash our way just right up there. It looks like this place would also be a really good place to build a fortress. Although these guys are amphibious, so that might not work out very well. What is our research and construction yet? It's 4. Okay, well, with that said, we should be able to actually begin a little bit of a push forward in the whole research department. What I think I'll do is that I'll build a lab on this tile, and I'll just put a whole bunch of smiths there for the sake of research. Later on, once our capital gets a little too crowded. And right now, yeah, I think I'll just leave it like that. There we go. So, as we advance here, we should be getting more and more gems by the minute, which is nice. We're told over here is going to build another fortress, which should be able to secure this place for us. We just have so many of those gems, I mean, it's just, oh my god. Have to spend them on something, right? Okay, so now that we've got a laboratory here, I'll get him to start researching, and we should be able to recruit some more, no, we can't recruit any Master Smiths here, but I guess that's fine. Because we already have a ton in our capital. Okay, well, I think I'll stop building smiths at this point, but what we are going to start building instead are Lord Guardians, which are essentially very heavy commanders, and what we plan on doing with these commanders is just essentially upgrading them with magical arms, which should be able to give them a distinctive advantage in battle. We'll essentially use... oh, isn't this handy? Oh, we already control most of this territory. In that case, I guess we'll continue building a fortress here, but we need a fortress on this tower as well. So, you know what? I think I'll get Tresman to make his push over there, and we can maybe get one of these researchers to come to him next turn too. You know, I haven't played this game in multiplayer yet, but I would assume that for this faction, you could kind of turtle it up with your large amount of resources. You don't spend a lot of cash, so you could just kind of sit around for a little bit and really just up the gem production, up the research, and do stuff like that. Did we find anything here? No, unfortunately we did not, so we'll move forward. Build a fortress here, that is good. That is good indeed. Okay, well, let's check our research progress. We're still on level 4. We're starting to make a lot of progress in the whole gems category, which is another good thing. We'll get Ernest to move here, and get these guys to come over here. And once we seal up this place, we'll essentially create an artificial wall to just kind of block out the enemy. And enter. There was a fight in Iron Enge, and there were some negative events happening. Well, that's fine. Going to search for some more sites over here, and well, there appears to be an aquatic faction down here. Oh well. We do need to grab this particular site though, but it's in water, so we will have to. Let's see. Thrones of Ascension. Yeah, we do need to grab all 4 of them, and one of them is submerged in water, so we're going to have to do something about that later on. For now, it shouldn't be that much of a big deal. Did we find any more sites here? Oh, that's right, we were just beginning our search. Well, now that we have essentially, oh good, we've found a place that gem, and it's sun gems, which is perfect. That is better. One more turn, and then we should be able to start generating some good stuff. Let's see what has happened. Somebody conquered one of our tiles, but I don't know where. Let's see. Anywho, let's just begin generating things right now. Let's begin upgrading our little cast of warriors right here. So I'll actually make all of these commanders into one group. We're going to have just like 4 commanders, I suppose, and we will be upgrading them with goods. So let's get our guys to stop researching and get them to start building some magical items. So we essentially do that from this menu here: forge magical items. We have a large cast of objects that increases. Really the only limiting thing here is the amount of gems that you have and the amount of skills that your forgers have. So what we're going to do is that we're going to equip our commanders with some black steel full plate, which will give them quite a lot of extra armor at the price of some encumbrance. So we will be forging 4 of those. Forge magical item. Forge that. Forge that. If we got our magical enchanter, our demigod, to essentially do these forge items, we'll have a larger selection of items. But right now, I mean, I think this will be enough. We're going to equip ourselves with quite a lot of those, and we're also going to equip ourselves with some helmets to go along with our armor. Gotta have the matching helmets. And okay, so 4 helmets. And we can do weapons later on, but right now I want to see if there's anything else we should be able to get them. We should be able to get them some earth boots. Well, actually, we should equip our forgers with those earth boots because they do give us a little bit of a bonus in the area of what's it called? In the area of forging. I'm gonna do that a little bit later, but right now I just really want to get our guys a nice set of armor. Simply because once we do that, we can essentially turn them into just these like massive boss units on the battlefield, making them really helpful. Do something like that. That'll create a nice little set or a nice little set of things for them. And I think I'll just pull my Master Enchanter back. Okay, so that's kind of that. Now that we have those items built, let's just get these guys back on research. I'm going to have to balance out our gems here in a little bit, so what I think I'll do is that I'll set everybody on research for now, except for 1 or 2 guys, and what I want one of them to do is doing some alchemy. Right now we have a ton of earth gems, but we have like barely any fire gems or any other of the other gems, so what I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to convert a lot of our earth gems and a lot of our water gems, and I suppose all of our air gems, some of our nature gems, and I'm going to convert all of them into fire gems, simply because fire gems are really useful in building arms, arms that we need to give our commanders. So let's equip everybody with their armor. Take a note of their values. So 7 encumbrance, 16 strength, 24 protection, 13 attack, and go to this guy and essentially equip them again, and just go to the next guy, do the same thing pretty much, so that'll give them a little bit more health or goods, and that should also give them the benefit of invigoration, which will essentially give him a little bit more, or reduces fatigue every time, and because he is a little bit encumbered, these guys will need that fatigue boost. So now that we have that, we can essentially assign them a little army for themselves. Generally speaking, yeah, I think 2 lines will be enough, and I'll get those guys into double line formations, and I will have them going like that. So they will be nice and center like that, and what we want to do with the commanders is that we want to put them nice front and center, just kind of below their troops actually. Because what these commanders will do now is that once they are equipped with heavy weaponry, they should be essentially able to smash down whatever is part of the enemy's armies. And we're just going to get this death stack to essentially go out into the northern part of the map here and wreck things right there. Fully armored, fully geared up. Well, that's not entirely true. They could use some weapons, and I think I'll get them their weapons later on. So yeah, that is going to be a very, very powerful stack of units. Some more events happening, some more battles being fought, which is good. And now that we have this fortress here, I guess I'll get this guy to go back up and scout the region over here. And let's see, our Master Enchantress is going to take a little while to get back to the fortress, but should be fine. These guys will just kind of follow up. Apparently we're being sieged somewhere. Okay, so we're being sieged here by a group of about 50 units. I think that is a really good time to get these guys back over there to help them out. But what I want to do right now is I want to get my Master Enchantress back at our HQ. Oh, perfect, large fight right here. These guys have a stack of about 130 warriors. We have about we have about 160, and this is really, really good. Okay, well, what we will do is that we'll get our guys to essentially just, issue no orders to them. Get these guys to just kind of attack, just attack nearest closest enemies, attack closest enemies, and essentially just leave it at that, really. Back inside our capital, we should have enough gems to craft these guys a secondary set of goods just immediately after this battle is over. So we're going to fight them, and let's see what happens. So an unexpected event happens here, and there, and this battle should have been fought yet. We lost one commander, unfortunately. So yeah, our commanders are in the middle with their fully geared up selves, and our guys should be moving forward. The problem with our troops is that they are a little vulnerable to magic, so we may be hit by a few spells, and that might kill off some of our commanders, unfortunately. But for the most part, I think things will be fine. There we go. Some of our troops were fleeing there for a little bit, but it looks like in the end we were able to just kind of rout them. Oh, that's why. It looks like we lost one commander from that battle, and because we did lose one commander, unfortunately, we're 2 commanders now, did we? Oh, so 2 of our commanders retreated here, that's why. So that's rather unfortunate. It looks like somebody took a little bit of a mortal wound here, so I guess we're just going to have to leave him. But as you can see here, I mean, our guys were pretty powerful. They were able to smash their way through the stuff pretty easily. So let's just get them reassembled, and then let's check out what other goods that we can build. And it looks like these guys are attacking us in the behind. So I'll get our Enchantress to take a look at what items she can essentially make, and as you can see here, she can make a larger amount of different stuff. She can make a few bows here, which are pretty deadly. As we unlock more and more things, those things will become more apparent. Yeah, so there's definitely a ton of stuff here that we can build for our units. Some nice little combinations is the earth boots for our forgers, which are able to make even powerful items as soon as they get them. I believe you can also get something that, yeah, wing boots, which will allow our commanders to fly. Inside this section over here of miscellaneous goods, I believe you can get a few things such as a helpful research tool, some sort of lantern, and some various other things like that. So, I think that'll be essentially this video. I mean, there's really all of what we had wanted to show there for you guys. Unfortunately, we aren't able to just kind of win this game easily, simply because this throne is inside the middle of the ocean, pretty much. So, I'll see you guys next time, where we take a look at another faction and learn a little bit more about the game. So, till then, bye bye. Be sure to like and subscribe for those automated notifications.